All right, Tanse, and welcome to the Indigenous Central podcast. Joining me today is Laurel Sapp, a local Indigenous artist from Saskatchewan. Before we begin, I will take a moment to talk about the story behind the Indigenous Central podcast. It started with an idea from a dream to create a business. I was daydreaming, as usual, on a random day in early April. And then it came to me to create and host my own podcast. After a while, I named my podcast Indigenous Central Podcast. When reflecting about the podcast, I came to a realization. When you look through the yellow pages in a telephone book, on a Google search, or on a Facebook Marketplace search, for example, you wanted to look for an Indigenous nail tech local to the area in the city you're living in. You are left with search results outside of your radius. Say, for example, Indigenous beater or local beaters near me. You would generally find your search results would show the next city or the next town over. With the issue of a limited list of results, it occurred to me that a person generally has to know someone who knows someone who knows someone. If you wanted to search for an artist in Onion Lake or in Little Pine or in North Belford, you would have to call your auntie or a cousin who lives in Little Pine or in Onion Lake or wherever you're looking and ask, "Do you know anyone who does beading? I am looking for someone local who can do beading for moccasins." And depending if she knows someone or he knows someone, you would have to phone around until you find someone. And it doesn't always work out. Sometimes you hit a dead end. Word of mouth can be a great thing. Maybe you'd find a cousin who does local beadwork, but that's not always the case. And that is why I created the Indigenous Central podcast, to invent a platform where I can promote and showcase local Indigenous professionals all across Canada, not just local to Saskatchewan or Alberta, but across the country. So, please help me in welcoming our guest star for today, Laurel Sapp, a musician, singer, songwriter, a photographer, a kokum, and a gypsy.
I don't know where she is, and she might come by. Oh, you're talking about me? Oh, okay. The gypsy. Okay, the gypsy. Hi, everybody. Hi. Okay, let me start that back. Hi, all. I just had a tongue twister right there, tongue twister. Thank you to Stella. My name is Laurel Sapp. I was born and raised in Sweetgrass First Nations. Registered with Little Pine First Nations. I reside now here on Treaty 6 territory on Little Pine, on a farm in the middle of nowhere, and it's quite the adventure being out here. It's actually, you gotta be crazy to live out here, it's got its blessings, but I have written my best work and done my best work here at the farm. So, and thus, who am I? I'm the eldest of 5 kids, actually, out of all of our kids. I think there's 11 of us. So, I'm a mother of 3 children, 3 angels now. I'm a grandmother to 1 child. Actually, I have 2 grandchildren. Granddaughter I haven't seen. She's going to be 15 this year. Woohoo! And yes, I'm really happy about that. And my grandson, I take care of my grandson. my little outlaw. But anyways, moving forward, I am here. I'm an artist. I'm a songwriter. I'm a writer. I'm a researcher by trade. I have my own business. I've been a facilitator. I'm a photographer. You just type in Laurel Sapp. You'll see everything. You'll see everything. You just type my name in Google Lipta. You Google Lipta. That's a new word, by the way, I caught from my cousin. Google Lipta. If you need to find me, you just Google Lipta, my name, Laurel Sapp, and you'll find me. I'm everywhere, apparently. So that's who I am. I'm going to be 55 next year. Would you believe I'm going to be 55? I'm very blessed to reach this age. Right? I know, right? I'm 54 now. I'm going to be 55 next year. I do have wrinkles. Filters are very amazing. You know these filters? They're just amazing. They really do. Anyways, I have a sense of humor that is just me. I don't know. I live by my own rules. I live with kindness, respect, love, peace. Always. I'm a spitfire. I admit that. I admit that I have my blah moments, So, but it's gotten to me some trouble. My mouth is my biggest asset, so got me in trouble, but it's also saved me. And it actually, this mouth here has written a lot of songs, and I still got a long ways to go. I still have a lot of things that I need to do, but pretty much that's who I am.
Well, thank you, Laurel. I'm glad to have gotten to know a little bit more about you. We've, of course, been friends for quite a few months now. My second question is there an upcoming album in the works? Because I heard through the grapevine that you had an album on the way.
We haven't discussed that yet, but I haven't gone into the I'm going into the studio sometimes this month. So I've been working really hard on looking at all the songs. I've written over 50 songs, probably more, but looking at what I want to put on this album and what means the most to me and what the listeners would like to hear. And I picked the ones that mean the most. I get a lot of requests for Devil's Crossroad, which is a song that is based on salutes to all the musicians out there, including myself. All the sacrifices that we make. We're on the road. We don't get to be with family. We're away from our children. We're away from community, and you're in a vehicle going on a highway, down that highway. And a lot of times we sacrifice. We go without. Your vehicles break down. Your equipment breaks down. Strings break in the bar, you're wherever. But the whole thing is that as musicians, you really push forward to push out that song, to entertain, to give the audience and a show that means something to them. And it's all about the fans. And I have a lot of fans, and I'm really grateful to all of them. It's a blessing that I do not take for granted. I don't have an ego. I'm very humble, but I'm an entertainer. I am an entertainer. I've been told that many, many times. I'm an entertainer. I can entertain. When I get on that stage, I can entertain. And I think that's all about me being there. But this whole album has a southern country rock style to it. An outlaw, it's an outlaw style. That's what I like to call it because it has elements. I just want to just go. I got a low voice. I have a really deep low voice. So the elements that if people are so, well, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? And well, if you ever heard of Cody Jinks, I love his music. I can sing his songs. I have that vocal range on him. Like I can sing his songs. That's pretty much like Luke Combs. I can sing his songs because I got that vocal range too. So I like Cody Jinks' style. I also been referred to like Janis Joplin. I have that voice. I have been the Headpins. I've been referred to. I've been referred to Tanya Tucker. Elements of definitely Lainey Wilson. I can sing Lainey Wilson's music, and I have that. I'm drawn to her because I love the style. That's my style. That's my style. I want to move around. I want to just stand there and sing. I have ADHD, so I need to move around. I need to move around. So, but at the same time, the my style of gypsy, I'm a gypsy anyway, so I dress that part. I always do. I always do. It's who I am. My whole wardrobe. And you've been there. You've been to my house. You see my wardrobe, right?
Yes, I have seen her wardrobe. Laurel Sapp. Oh, I refer to her Laurel as Auntie Laurel in case I haven't mentioned that, but in case any of the listeners were just curious. She has a massive collection, and I've often referred to Auntie Laurel as a version of Stevie Nicks, um, Tanya Tucker, and sometimes she reminds me of Cher as well. But yes, continue.
It's gypsified. This whole place is gypsified. So it shows in my music, and of course the jewelry, the rings and everything else. This album, we're going into a studio with, and I can't wait to get in there. Once, because I signed the working contract, and that is something that I took. I don't take for granted, and I took it very seriously. I really take this music life seriously, and I mean, I had some wonderful workings with other musicians that helped me with the songs that I've written here, and I don't have to mention names, but anyways, he's been there. He knows what my style is, and I am grateful for that. And I'm moving forward. Is I need to move forward. I need to keep on going. I can't stay in one place. I need to keep moving. And since this year, I've written 3 songs, and one that is political in a way. Not political, but it's like bringing the patriotism of Canadians, bring us together as a nation that, what, will carry on. And that speaks strong from my heart, because between the North and South, the song comes, it's still, there's a lot of turmoil between North and South. We're still carrying on. We still got to pay the bills. We still got to work. These songs are elements of life, experience with life, work, being a blue collar, being a musician. It could be a mom, it could be a grandma, it could be loss. There's loss involved in there. I've written these songs based on my life. It's on experiences, whether it's a loss of a relationship, whether it's a blessing of a family, whether it's being in love. And everybody knows my story. I've been in love. There's a lot of elements of love, and there's also elements of watching too much freaking Western movies over the course of the years since 2016. You know, I wrote a song about that, because there's a gypsy and a cowboy that could not be, or an outlaw that could not be together, and it's called Fire and Desire. I'm putting on there. Unfortunately, it's a deep, little bit of dark outlaw song, but at the end, I like it because they didn't want to get caught. This in this song, they didn't want to get caught. They didn't want to get caught by, they were going to stay together, and that's why Fire and Desire, and they burn, and they burn, and they burn, fire and desire. There's
Oh wow, I really love your vocals. Oh, it was just similar to Whitney Houston. It was sort of a Whitney Houston vibe, just the high note and how you held on to that note. Damn.
there's that. I bring a lot of deepness, deep words into these songs. And like I said, there's some times where I can write a song in 10, 15 minutes, and some that it's taken me years. Devil's Crossroad is one of those. That was one that took 20 minutes, written and dedicated to the musicians in all of this industry across this nation. There's also one called Who Will Lead Them Home, and I've had that in the Tickle Trunk to 2022. So it was based on addictions. It's based on the pandemic of drugs and alcohol that's raging our world. And who will lead them home? Well, we will lead them home. We will bring them home. And it's about hope. But it's also, I'm a storyteller. So as a storyteller, it really goes inside. It really comes forth in the song. So it tells the story. It tells experience of like two lovers that were caught up in addictions, and it's those types of songs that I really want to put on this album. I really want to make it meaningful, and there's going to be about 8 songs. I definitely going to release one as a single for sure, a couple singles, and excited, excited. Hope that answers your question. I kind of went on a tangent there, but hey,
Yes, that does answer my question. It was quite a long answer, but I am looking forward to seeing the cover art.
the art, the cover art, yes. Well, I'll tell you one thing. There's a lot of, as a photographer, Laurel Sapp photography. You'll see that on Google. Google Lipta. Just Google Lipta Laurel Sapp, and you'll see me everywhere. I mean, I'm an entertainer. I'm one that's a content creator too, right? I love having fun, but I also do it on experience. It could be anything. It could be about depression or whatnot. But the pictures that I have are just numerous. They're just like a lot of selfies. It's just like looking for that. I've deleted thousands, but my brother, my adopted brother Patrick Van Loosen from Chilliwack, BC, he came down a couple of years ago and he did a photo shoot, and I wanted that image of a gypsy, and he did. He did get that, but I also got some that are I wanted that gypsy dark style. I wanted also that element of who I was, because I believe like when we go on stage, I see that in myself is that we go on stage, we don't go as Laurel. Sometimes we have that persona. I go on there and I have the dark and I like kind of like the black, all black, black, white kind of thing. I have that innocent one, then I have the one that's like, I'm just like rocking. And when people are shocked when they see me, like, oh my God, Laurel's just jumping up there and kind of like going down. I'm entertaining. I'm in that mode, right? So you know what I mean. So and people have grabbed, and I don't apologize for it. I have no regrets. I mean, I'm freaking gonna be 55 next year, and I don't give a what people think about how I present myself. I'm getting to a point where I just want to do this album. I just want to do some music. I want to keep writing. Eventually I want to be able to sell, I'll be offering those music for sale, and that, I get royalties from it, right? There's a lot of good songs in there that people have not heard. There's a lot of songs that are geared towards men, outlaw singers that can carry that song and it would suit them. There's songs that are made for women. There's songs that are made for, the lifestyle gypsies like me. And you've heard them on lives with TikTok, Facebook, and I've been on a few stages here and there. I haven't been as much, but because you know what? And here's something I'm going to say. My cardiologist said, because I just had heart surgery, I had an ICD put in there into my heart. This is my second one. And my doctor said, you're going to live to be 100. It's so good. This pacemaker, this ICD is so good and so ideally like up top of the line that you can live to be 100, another 100 years. I'm like, 154? I'm going to be 154 before this thing gives out. So I got a long ways to go, put it that way.
I love the way you laugh. It's such a very vibrant laugh. But on that note, I'm going to take a pause for a moment. I'm just going to have a little bit of water to drink. Why don't you join me, Laurel? We can have a drink together.
Well, I don't drink, but I definitely will have pop. I love virgin Caesar. So people see me and they go, "You're drinking?" I said, "No, it's a virgin Caesar. Actually, it's like soup. Virgin Caesars are like soup. It's like having soup. It's like you're having a glass of soup to me. That's what I think."
Well, I can say one thing. I have never tried a Virgin Caesar. Actually, I've never had a Caesar at all. Um, I've had a couple drinks here and there. On that note, and to our listeners who are tuning into this episode, please keep in mind that there is a disclaimer with this third question. It is a raw and tough subject, but it is one that I hope we can learn from, and I hope it is a question where our answers can be taken away as a lesson through the stories that will be shared. Laurel, was there a time where you faced any type of prejudice, whether that was discrimination of your age, of your gender, and of your race? And did you experience that in the home outside of your professional life?
Absolutely. I can tell you right now that um, that's a tough one, and it's also very real, very raw, very raw. Let me very raw because I've grown up with it since I was a kid, and I didn't know those terms that that are non-indigenous brothers and sisters called us. Wagon burner, all those, I did not know what squaw what meant. And I'm sorry I'm saying that right now, but I didn't know what that meant. And finding out that my children went through it too, it was really heartbreaking. I'll tell you one thing, because I lived a gypsy life. I lived a hard life. I lived a really hard life. So I was that parent that went to that parent's house and said, "What did you do to my child?" I was not well liked. I was feared. I was a fighter. I fought all my life. I'm not afraid to say that. I fought. I threw men off my front step. I learned to fight. But when I dealt with racism, not only in the educational institution as universities, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's in Tim Hortons, I always made it a point to make sure that they knew what they were doing was wrong. I didn't leave them alone. I'm the one that your mama does not want you to. I'm the one that your mama does not want me to come home to your boyfriend. Trust me, on that. People say, "Oh, she's scary. She's scary." I'm trust me. I was not. I was a meek little mouse. I don't, I've seen my kids go through it, and I've seen myself go through where say, "Oh, nice butt," and I'm just looking and say, "Who the hell do you think you think you're saying this to me? You have no right." And I get in their face. Not all women can do that. Not like me. I'm a fighter. Like I said, I'm a fighter. I got a big mouth. I got a big mouth. I am sorry. But also at the same time, safety is something that I really push forward. I always have to say you have a safety plan. I don't care how old you are. My grandson has something on his phone that I always know where he is. And you need to have it, just like with you. You need to have that safety net with sisters and brothers. I don't care if you're male or you're female, whatever. You need to have that safety net amongst your people, amongst your friends, amongst your family. And we're getting better. We're not there yet. I have a lot of non-indigenous brothers and sisters that I love, and they feel like we do. This ignorance. Ignorance. We need to learn about one another. We need to love one another. We need to accept one another. We need to. You know what? We need to start this movement. It's like, can I just hug you? Can I just hug you? Can you imagine if you hug a person? And I've done that. Um, I did that to a woman that called me down and was sitting, and I just went, "You need a hug," and I did. She fought me, but I hugged her. I wouldn't let go, and she started crying. I think honestly, we need to hug each other more. We need to say, "Hey, what's going on? I'm not here to harm you. We're the same. We both have the same blood. We all have the same. We all have those same lifestyles, those experiences where we come from. We're all human beings, is what I'm trying to say. We're all human beings. We got to live together in this lifetime. And whether we're musicians, whether we're welders, whether we're teachers, whether we're, husband and wife. My kids' dad, late dad, was German. My oldest kids are Métis. They come from French. You know, I made a point of it to always educate and to teach who we are. Come spend some time with us. You don't know, you have no idea. If you come to my house, I'll be making badminton soup, soup. I'll take you around and people like it. I've had a lot of non-Indigenous brothers and sisters come here and they love it here. They love it. And I tell them, I said, you don't have to, there's no imaginary line. It's like, hey, you know, we're, sorry, there's something that was on I just have to delete that. But if you get to know one another, we're just like you. We're a little crazier. We got a wicked sense of humor. Freaking my latest song, wicked sense of humor. We love to have fun because that's actually healing for us. That is healing. Laughter is healing. We like to make fun of each other. It's just the way we are. And so there you go. That's a touchy subject, but it needs to be heard. It needs to be said. I'll go and hug everybody. I'll go hug everybody. And that's where we as songwriters, we do that. We write songs about what we need to do, what we want to do. We're not hateful people. We're very humble people. We want to hug. I want to hug. I'm a hugger. I mean,
I am too. I love a great hug. I'm a hugger too. Sometimes I even overstep. I forget to ask people if I may have a hug. I forget to ask, may I have a hug? Are you okay with me giving you a hug? I'm just a hugger. I don't know, I could hug a tree if need be.
I may be bold. Yeah, I might be bold, but I have a big heart. I have a big heart, and I help. I'm a helper. But we just need to do better. That's all. We need to do better. We need to put the hate aside. We need to anyways, that's it for another topic. So definitely.
Thank you, Laurel, for your answer. I I agree with many of your key points that you brought up. I appreciated and I am in awe of how beautifully well said and well constructed and how truthful your answer is. And I wanted to make an additional note that many of us Indigenous peoples of Canada, many of us Indigenous youth, and this is the reason why I created this podcast, the Indigenous Central Podcast, is so that we would have a common platform to share our stories, to share our experiences, and to share knowledge in a way that can inspire listeners who are tuning in, that will pave a path forward of reconciliation, of recognition that we are a resilient people of Canada. We are not simply sitting around and waiting. We are dreamers. We are intuitive thinkers. We're engineers. We're leaders. And that's what I find beautiful. And recognition is key.
Know that we are skilled. We have experience. We're not all about what you see on the streets. We're not those stereotypical labels that we are. We have. I mean, I've been labeled. I mean, I'm sure you have been too. And we need to be more put in the front to show who we are. Talk about. I do my best to. I grew up in the '60s scoop. I was scooped. I also grew up in a day school with my mom was a residential school survivor. That is real. That is absolutely real. I went through it. You know, we found. I mean, I'm honestly, to be honest with you, and I've read it on. I mean, you just have to take a look on the newspaper and on the news that say, oh well. there's no graves. That's a hoax. You know what? Well, my grandfather was buried outside a mile from the residential school in Delmas. I'm sorry. You're telling me that it's not real? I'd like to invite you to my community. I'd like to invite you to our residential schools, that the places where they are. But that's a whole, we're far from it. We're getting better. We are getting better working together. There's still a lot to be done. The voice, our children. I mean, and here's an example. My grandson, brown as can be, he is dark, handsome little guy. You know what? He does not look at the color of your skin. I've taught him they're human beings. We're all human beings. We all are together. His friends are Japanese, Chinese, Ukrainian, Métis, First Nations, Cree, everything. It's Scottish. What I see in him is that everybody is special. To him, everybody's special. And that friendship is the biggest game changer for him. He loves the friendship. That wasn't like that in my case when I was a kid. I did not have that. I did not have when I went to, and I come from North Battleford. That's where I was born and raised, North Battleford. I didn't have that. I had to fight my way just to keep survive, just to get out of the playground. If someone trips you, you gotta, it was that was the reality back then. My parents couldn't go into the bar without, you had permission. You need permission or a permit, whatever it is that you. But getting back to this is through our music, we share we share our experiences, and oftentimes when I usually write from all perspectives. So it involves everybody as a human being. We all are a whole big family, regardless of what people think. This whole entire world, we are an entire nation of family. We're all interconnected. We're like a web. We're all interconnected some way. And I like to think of it as that one day we're, you know, we're going to call each other family. We are. And I meet people all the time and I just love them. And I don't look at their skin. I don't look, but I do say, hey, you know what? I love you. I love how you sing. And that's how I look at things. I look at their skills. I look at how they are as a human being. And like, I look at my grandson and I want to teach him and showing him a better way that, yeah, it does exist. It does exist. But at the same token, we also can do better as parents, as grandparents, and we educate, we make aware. And for him, he just wants to be a little boy and just have fun, play the soccer ball with his buddies. Okay, next question, because I got 10%.
All right, moving on to my last question of the episode for tonight. Is there one lesson, is there one message you wish for everybody to take away from this episode?
Don't ever give up. Doesn't matter how old you are. Don't ever give up. You can achieve your dreams. You're worthy beyond measure. My late daughters used to say that. You're worthy beyond measure. I truly believe in everybody. I truly believe that we all have a gift and we can achieve those dreams no matter how old. I've seen people that are in their 70s that achieved their bachelor's degree in university. I mean, I'm going to be 55 next month and I'm achieving a dream that I should have achieved when I was in my 20s, but I raised my babies. And that was a pinky swear. That was a pinky swear promise that they said, Mom, you will achieve your dream, right? You'll reach and do the music. Because I used to sing to them when they were babies as lullabies, Lori Morgan, George Jones, Tammy Wynette, Loretta Lynn, Patsy Cline, all those are, I always did that. But today, my message is to everyone that is out there, no matter how young you are, you're worthy. You have it in you. If you wake up in the morning, that is the best part. Just keep striving, keep moving forward, keep moving. You can look back, but don't look back for very long. Just keep moving forward. Because if you look back there, you might go back there and not come out. I didn't give up. I had to keep striving to be better. For me, I need to make myself get all this music out of me. I need to tell my story, and that's what this music is about. It's about we're all storytellers, and I believe the children are great little ones. They're little great little. So I listen. We all have ears. We all have eyes. We all have a mouth. We all do the best that you can. Yes, hi, Monday. It's hard, but don't give up because I'm living proof. I've died several times. I mean, I have a pacemaker that saved my life. And it'd be damn to hell if I'm going to allow myself to go in the ground. I'm still here. I'm still going to make it. I'm still going to get on that stage. Even though I say, you're getting too old. I don't care what you think. I'm still going on there. I'm still going to, I can run. I can dance. I can entertain. You know what? I'll always be Laurel the Gypsy. They don't even say my last name. They just say Laurel. Oh, they don't even say my name or say, oh, there's, hey, Gypsy. You know, um, be a good human being. Help your fellow neighbor. Love one another and help. And you know what? Don't forget who you are and where you come from. And remember, there's always someone watching that's younger than you. Yeah. And that's to this. If you want to be a singer or a songwriter or whatever it is you want to do it. Got to work a little hard at it, but that's, you know what? It's well worth it. I'm gonna have an album this this year. I'm gonna have an album this year. I'm gonna have music out in probably September, and it's going to be awesome. Like I can't wait to get in that studio and start working. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna laugh, and of course, I'm a swearer. For those that know me, I swear a lot. I have a trucker mouth. So I was raised with boys. I'm a big tomboy. Right now, this is as girly as you're gonna get. But much love. Thank you very much. Stella, for having me on here. I know there's some touchy subject, but again, we're as Indigenous women, come from Treaty 6, come from a long line of leaders, right up to treaty signing. Um, we need to speak our story. We need to tell each other a story. We need to uplift, and we need to talk about those difficult conversations that we don't want to say, talk about. But at the same token, when you share your story, it gets easier to tell it until it doesn't become uncomfortable anymore. And you speak it. It's raw. It's truth. But it's also inspiring for the person that's watching behind you, that's watching. That's your children. That's your grandchildren. Those are the ones that are yet not born yet. You need to set that path. And I hope that's what I do with my grandson. And I hope that's what I do for my future great grandchildren, and also for this music that it does tell a story, and that's all what it's about. I'm picky for my kids, my late children, my family that I'd finish, and that's what it is. And I didn't realize it got this big in terms of fans and people wanted. I didn't realize that, and I'm really grateful. I'm grateful. I'm just glad to be here today. I shouldn't be, but with this good ICD, it's given me that opportunity to continue living my life. Thank you very much. I appreciate Miigwech for Hi Man is hard. I said it's hard. Oh my God, I'm still also learning my language too. Miigwech, thank you so much for being here. I wish you nothing but blessings, and I look forward to the next one. And thank you, Stella, for opening this podcast because it really does bring forth things we need to talk about.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, to all of our listeners, miigwech, thank you for listening. And that's a wrap. And please don't forget to share this so that many others can hear our podcast. Thank you to Laurel Sapp, our beloved guest star. And keep in touch. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and wherever else you can find us. Miigwech, thank you. Hiy Hiy.